Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. That was a lot more than three or six or whatever number I've been doing. It's obviously a good morning. Now, my morning started very early. Our daughter is just so energetic. She's almost becoming like a bat, that when it's nighttime, she likes to be awake. And then, during the day when I'm at work, then she's, relaxed. And not so relaxed, but I could tell you at 4 in the morning, she is a hot tamale. So anyway, welcome. All right, let's see. Let's get to a couple of updates. So like I told you, I wasn't, hey, good morning, Brian. I wasn't going to be able to step into the market and purchase yesterday, and I'm still waiting on funds to clear, which they will today. Um, Actually, I made a mistake. I used a wrong account, and long story short, it's being resolved. And if it's not resolved by like 12 o'clock, I'll call them myself. So today we will be stepping into the market. So if anyone's looking for I don't know, get in, get out opportunity, I wouldn't tell you to do it, but today would be a good day to do it. So that's good. And as a result, our market cap and liquidity pool and all that is a little bit under the all-time high yesterday, which it will be right back over it today once we actually buy, but it's right there. Uh, yeah, yeah, my daughter does hang up upside down, and she's long. Like she just keeps getting longer. If she hung upside down in the room, I'd bump my head against her head by walking by her. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Getting back to Rhino. Oh, cool. Yeah, thank you so much, Frida. So we're still working on the bot, and actually, we wanted to. I really wanted us to work a little bit more on it yesterday, but it seems like our team member came down with a funky little bug over the weekend, and again, it's one of those things that you've seen me here every single day, right? Like there is not an amount of sickness that would stop me. I remember the day my brother passed away, I was here. And I didn't really share that with anyone, but my team knew that. That was back in Abigail days. And it's just there's a level of passion that's unique to the creator that will never ever be shared with anybody else. Other people are team members, and they could be as passionate as you could ever wish them to be, but there'll always be something that will stand in between them and you. Like, for instance, if a team member's brother passed away, I wouldn't expect them to be working that day. When my brother passed away, I was right here, right? So it's different. That being said, I did speak to that team member yesterday, and we are scheduled to get on a 3 o'clock call today, in which case we're going to collab for an hour. The reason why it's 3 o'clock is so that he had the entirety of yesterday and the entirety of today to prepare. Now, again, I don't presume to know what's in people's head all the time, nor do I presume to know that I will always catch someone if they're being honest or dishonest, right? And that's not directed at this individual, but it's directed in totality. And if someone's being dishonest, well, I always will go ahead and set up a structure that will allow them to redeem themselves unbeknownst to me. Like, for instance, if this individual, and I sincerely don't believe with this individual, but just speaking out loud because I do the same process across the board. If somebody was, all right, I'm going to play sick, right? Well, the work that they had not been able to do, they obviously need to catch up on, right? And in doing so, and say they hadn't done work for 2 or 3 days prior, and I was sick. Well, to go ahead and schedule a call with them in the following hour doesn't give them the opportunity to save face. In fact, it turns somebody that's quite capable into someone that is quite confrontational, right? Because now they have to make up an excuse why they can't be on that call for an hour, or they have to make up an excuse what wasn't done or why they're unable to present what should have been done. And it starts degrading and decaying that individual from a very, very competent, a very, very competent team member that would have excelled if given the opportunity to save face to somebody that was caught and now resents the place that they work at. And I just, again, across anything, whether it's my wife, whether it's my kids, whether it's my family, whether it's anyone, I don't presume to know that I'll always know when someone's being honest or not. I do presume to know that if you're working with me, that you will share my passion. And as long as that's the case, you will always step up if given the opportunity to step up, hence the 3 o'clock call scheduled for today. And again, it's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies and cognitive dissonance. Even if I don't believe that's the case, I would never know that's not the case, right? Like you can take a look at your partner and say, my partner would never XYZ, right? Like you firmly believe they would never do XYZ. But if they did, you wouldn't know it because you believe that they didn't, right? So if they did, you would never know, right? So it's one of those things. Behavioral science 101, right? Anthony, stop it. So we're going to have that meeting today at 3, in which case I'm going to show you something really, really quite special that I built out yesterday. So that's with the bot. Now the bot is going to be on our lander pages. Now I've noticed our lander pages don't convert as well as we'd like. And of course that's a process, right? So we'll have to make a better lander page, find out what's converting, what's not. And the bot should really, super duper that conversion process. But in an attempt that we're going to pivot to allowing our Twitter to kind of be our central hub, so to speak, in terms of our social presence, in which again, we really like Twitter under Elon much more than Twitter under Jack. He allows speech. He allows you to, within the rules, right? Like, don't go crazy. But the thing with Jack Dorsey beforehand was you could be within the rules, but if they didn't agree with you, then you had problems and they would just kick you off or silence you or shadow ban you. With Elon, that's not the case. In fact, the algorithm, once they complete it, they're going to make it open source so that everyone can actually see the algorithm because he believes in truth and transparency. And that's the type of thing that allows me to feel comfortable and confident to be on that platform where we can go ahead and really strive to get growth and share the things that we want, and not fall victim to, wow, you guys are so revolutionary. Let's silence you and let's do it ourselves over here, right? So in doing so, I wanted to have, in Twitter, you get to put a link. Like this is who you are, and ideally that link would go to a professional page that kind of really says who you are and what you're doing. So there's sales pages, and then there's like a professional page. And you want that to be your calling card, right? So in any walk of life, it's almost like when you're hiring someone, you look at their resume, you don't really care about their resume, right? Like unless you need them to be a doctor or something. But the resume, like a good friend of mine that passed away, actually my best friend that passed away years ago would say, just told the employer there's a certain percentage chance that you're not a knucklehead, right? Like if you went to a community school, there's maybe a 10% chance. And that's not to degrade community school. Like if you don't go to community school, you're silly, right? Like you should go there for at least the first 2 years because it's very, very cheap and you get your diploma somewhere else, right? So not to degrade it, but just talking in generalities. If you go to a community school, you're, say, a 10% chance not a knucklehead. But if you went to Harvard, there's like a 95% chance you're not a knucklehead. And that's not even talking about the person, but it's talking about the process, what it takes to get into those institutions. A community school, you could be a complete flunk out and get into. That doesn't mean that the really, really smart people aren't really, really smart. No, but you could get in and not be very qualified. Harvard, you're not getting in unless you're like super duper duper qualified, which means how much did you do in your life? So my friend used to always say that with the resume. But that's like your calling card. Like for instance, when I'm looking to hire someone, yeah, I look at their resume. Okay, they've done things in their life. That's good. But I'm hiring them based on the person, right? Like I'm talking to them. I want to get to know them. It's the same thing with these professional pages. When you set up on, say, a Twitter, you want to have a page that's like, okay, this person is super duper duper. And then the conversations could be a little bit more casual from there. So the point is I'm going to show you this page now. And I want you to look at the page, but then also know the bot is going to go on this page as well. We're probably going to code it a little bit differently. So if you're on the page for more than, say, 3 minutes, it'll prompt you rather than prompting you once you get on the page. Because again, you want to have some higher standards to it. You're not turning it into a sales thing. But again, the bot is highly educational. It knows everything about everything. So I think you'll be a little impressed. It actually took me all day yesterday to do this, which makes me feel kind of good that I did not have, or kind of, I guess good, right? That we were unable to have that meeting with the team member, but we didn't skip a beat, right? Like everything we did allowed us to have even a bigger meeting today. So let me just show you this page real quick. And I'm going to make this rhinobucks.com. I'm just waiting for the custom domain to be sent over. So don't really worry too much about finding it or track. Actually, I can just give you the link. All right, anyway, so let's get in it. So I think this is the page. So let me just get the link. It's a big, clunky, ugly link, and we're going to fix that. Chat, everyone. Okay, so you have it. Now let me hide this. Okay. So here's the page. And it's a really nice professional page. So RHINO Revolution, a crypto ecosystem aiming to reverse societal decay and restore prosperity. Now we got RHINO Bucks up here, which this page will be. RhinoStreet.com, obviously it's the search engine. RHINO Hub, which is the educational platform. April 9th, RHINO Times. If there was ever a newspaper, it should be called RHINO Times, by Anthony Calichone, founder of RHINO, revolutionary finance, empowering communities and creating opportunities through crypto. RHINO Bucks, fighting societal decay. So a doctoral dissertation explains the potential of the RHINO platform to address wealth inequality, community degradation, and individual dignity. I'm not going to read this all to you, but I want you to just take a look that it's really high value content. And all these links work. So they all go exactly where they're supposed to go. In fact, I'm probably even going to add RHINO Wealth and prompt engineering. I just want to take a look at them today. In fact, the email I'm going to send out tonight is probably going to be prompt engineering because I know a lot of people are interested in that. So this is the article. Now, we also wrote an article on April 1st, on March 23rd, on March 14th, on March 3rd. The growing crisis. Well, let's just click them, right? So it's another whole article. And then obviously the one we just came from goes back into the order to number one, but there's another whole article. And then there's another whole article. And stop me when you've heard this before, there's another whole article. And it's all really beautiful. Like I don't want to say proud because pride goes before the fall, but I'm really quite pleased with my, right? Like I don't like saying my, but I did this yesterday. Now on top of all that, this is going to knock your socks off. So RHINO, the white paper. So you can actually click this and get the white paper as well. That's why it's on every page. Introduction, societal decay and its causes, RHINO Bucks and Dogecoin phenomena, RHINO ecosystem and market cap potential. So let's just click introduction, right? Okay, now take a look at this. This is, I mean, when people say, Anthony, what do you do all day? A lot. It's the answer. So it is my belief. Oh, I want to change that in this doctor. I want to change that to in this white paper. Okay, so I just got to change a couple of words. But okay. It is in my belief that when you're able to write something like that, again, it's kind of like the resume thing. Okay, this person went to Harvard. I could see it. I could take this person a little bit more seriously. And we do think that's going to accomplish that for us. So that will be the link that we'll have on the Twitter, in which case the bot will be on every single one of those pages. So if you go ahead and follow yourself down the likely path, we'll be on Twitter, maybe do some ads, maybe not, start ginning up some curiosity, some engagement, some interaction. Whoever's interested will go ahead and click the button and be like, oh, this is who they are, take us a little more seriously. All the while the bot's doing all the work. You remember, the bot is the thing that's doing the work. Our job is just to go ahead and be like the Cupid, right? Like, okay, hey, you, come over here, come over here, come over here, check this out, check this out. But all within reason. So I want to share that with you. The RHINO Wealth email we sent out last night, I got a lot of really like praise. It was really quite good. And one of our team members, RHINO Partners, asked if we could just set up an affiliate system to that, which we did. So you could go onto, let's see, you could go into, I don't know how to do that. I guess I have to give you the link, right? I'm sure that's an easier way of doing it, but you know what? Let's just do that. Where are you? Stay with me. I know you can see me. I can't see you. Let's go over here real quick. All right, products. If I was RHINO Wealth, where would I be? There I am. Okay, sorry. All right, how do I get back to where it was? Okay, there I am. Sorry. If you're interested, it is in Cortra. Oh, okay. Thanks, Frida. Frida always knows everything. She's like, it's in Cortra. But there it is. So if you would like to yeah, Frida, thank you. You actually know our system better than me at times. If you'd like to go ahead and promote RHINO Wealth, you're welcome to. You could even use the email we sent out yesterday. In fact, maybe I'll go ahead and build that sequence to that. Actually, let me put that on my list of things to do today. Hold on. Yeah, it's funny. Let me just show you this for a second, just in case you think I'm nuts. So this is my list of things I need to do today. And I'm not going to get to all of it, but that's the goal, right? Okay. So I will build out a sequence to it, but RHINO Wealth, we are going to reward 10 RHINO bucks as well, because again, it's a subscription offer that welcomes people in on a recurring weekly basis. By the way, I can't actually write 10 RHINO bucks in Kartra, so it says $10. Just for your edification, every dollar represents one RHINO bucks. So I know $10 would equal only five RHINO bucks, but we're doing 10, and I want the dollars to be associated with RHINO bucks. And obviously, I have to say that out loud because there's no place to actually write that in. So that's that. And Whisper is up and running, but we just have to push it through. Again, the server stuff, which actually lands on the team member I just spoke about. So I really think a lot of stuff is going to get done today, tomorrow. The goal is everything better be done by Friday, or I'm going to like lose. I'll save that conversation for another day. So let me make sure. Oh, we got another 5 members last night. So we're at an all-time high again, 387 RHINO members. These are accounts, recurring weeklies that go into RHINO bucks. Also, I sent out an email yesterday to those who need to update their payment information. I resent another one today. Now, I can't tell who actually updated it, right? Because I would have to, there's no way for me to tell. I'd have to manually go through every single person and see if I can remember what the card was and what the new one is. So I resent that email again today. If you updated your information and got that email again today, disregard it. If you didn't update your information and you got that email today, don't disregard it. Update your information, and that's it. So all-time high in accounts. We will be an all-time high in liquidity once I go ahead and get the funds cleared. Update information, RHINO bots, pages, custom domains, sequences. Oh my God, I'm already overwhelmed. And I've been doing this since 5 this morning. Anyway, love, love, love. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.